Diaz, American Legion Post number 30, Lake Country Graphics, LB Homes, and by Running Stitches. Now let's head out for the pregame.
It's time for some Otter softball on Channel 977, also streamed on the Fergus Now app. Mark Johnson with you. Derek Sidian is our game side engineer. Dave Bestrop will be back after a bit here, but it's a windy one here. Beautiful day for softball other than the wind. Finally got some warmer temperatures. Temperature right now in Fergus Falls is 68. You know, earlier the temperature was 62 and the feels like was barely 50, so the sun does help. But it's a red flag warning. Wind gusts up to 38 miles per hour right now. And if you kind of out driving around today, you see there's a lot of topsoil flying in the air right now. But it is the Otters and the Willmar Cardinals. We're going to come back with our Nelson Auto Center starting lineups after this break.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top-quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
Welcome back to Otter Field here as the Otters are taking on the Willmar Cardinals. The Willmar Cardinals are 5-10 in girls softball. The Otters are 0-17. We're going to take another quick break and we'll come back with our Nelson Auto Center starting lineups.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Lake Region Healthcare is proud to be trusted and recommended by parents and coaches, athletes, and families. Keeping healthcare close to home for local athletes and all their fans. Find us online at lrhc.org.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
Welcome back to Fergus Falls. Otter Field. Here's now time for the Nelson Auto starting lineups. Brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. For the Otters, pitching will be Haley Price. Batting second and playing catcher will be Peyton Wolden. And then it's Addie Wickland, the center fielder, followed by Gianna Herman, the third baseman. Ella Lee is in left field. The shortstop is Eva Price. At first base, Zita Zaya. Sophie Lee playing second base. Designated player is Bristol Grabowska. And the flex player is Karen Hedeman. Those are your Nelson Auto starting lineups for the Otters. And leading off here for the Willmar Cardinals, in the top of the first inning, is Nora Nezges. Nora Nezges is the shortstop. And again, Price, the pitcher here, is an 8th grader. Ground ball, left side, and that is just foul. Very, very young team here for head coach Devaney Smith. And a number of 8th and 9th graders, sophomores. Sophie Lee, the lone Hattie Albertson and Sophie Lee, the seniors on this team. The first pitch was fouled, and it's 0-1. There's a pitch high for a ball. The pitch count goes to 1-1. Again, wind gust close to 40 miles an hour here this afternoon. Again, a 4 o'clock start here. And here comes the pitch by Price. That's going to be lined down the right field line, foul ball. The count goes to 1-2. So a good start here for Hallie. Ahead in the count here on Nora Nezges. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be high for a ball. Count goes 2-2. Otter boys taking on Ada Borup on American Legion Field. That was an add-on game. That earlier game against Bemidji, unable to be made up as their schedule had filled up. Here comes the 2-2 pitch now to Nora Nezges. That's going to be high for a ball. Count goes to 3-2. So 3-2 the count here to Nora Nezges. On deck, Claire Ginningsman. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Strike, got her looking. Nice pitch that time by Hallie. Hallie Price gets the strikeout. Ginningsman will step in. Ginningsman is the pitcher here for Willmar this afternoon. Here's a pitch by Price. That's in for a strike. Good start here for Hallie Price. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. So there's one out here for the Otters here as we begin this game against the Willmar Cardinals. Pitch is high. Count goes to 1-1. So 1-1 the count. Ripperger is on deck, followed by Malia Hansen for the Cardinals. There's one out here, nobody on. This game just underway. Pitch inside and low. Count is 2-1. So 2-1 the count here to the pitcher, Claire Ginningsman. Hallie Price winds, right-hander delivers, swing and a miss. Good pitch that time by Hallie. Price count goes even now at 2-2. Again, it's senior night here. Otter seniors, they'll have cookies and refreshments here after the game. Comes the 2-2 pitch. And it's going to be fouled right in front of the Otter dugout. 2-2 the count. In this game just underway. On a windy, dusty May 12th afternoon. This has been a cool and windy, not so wet, but just super windy spring here. Here's a pitch from Price, Allie Price. It's going to be fouled off the batter, Ginningsman. She'll go back into the box here, facing a 2-2 count. So 2-2 the count here to Claire Ginningsman. Again, we're in the top of the first inning. Beautiful upgrade to this field here. Ground ball left side, that's through for a base hit. And the Willmar Cardinals have their first base runner aboard. That'll bring up the center fielder. Isley Ripperger will step in, followed by Malia Hansen. So Ripperger, the 3-hitter here. Very dusty. I know I'm going to have a gravel pit in my eyes by the time this one is over. It's just windy, limestone flying. First pitch is fouled down the right field line. Zayna Zita will go and pick that one up, return it to Hallie Price, the 8th grade pitcher here for the Otters. Very young Otter team here this year. Pitch swung on to center field. It's going to over the head of the Otter center fielder. Didn't quite. It hit the fence. And rounding third base and heading towards home is Claire Ginningsman, so she will score. And an RBI double for Ripperger. So 1 run across on 1 hit. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Malia Hansen, the first baseman. Hansen, a left-handed batter. She'll step in, and she's going to be followed by Brindley Carroll, the catcher. Again, Peyton Wolden doing the catching here for Fergus Falls. Here's the first pitch, in for a strike, and a delayed steal. They're gonna, I think she got her out, going to third, a delayed steal. And so the second out on an attempted steal, so there's 2 down now. That first pitch was a strike as well. So the count is 0-1 to Malia Hansen. Kind of a delayed steal to throw back to the pitcher, and Price got rid of it. And the third baseman, Herman, made the tag. So the pitch in the dirt, count is 1-1. Again, we're just underway here from De Lagoon Park here. 2 down here for the Otters, top of the first inning. Comes a pitch, swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2. Again, if Malia Hansen were to reach Brindley Carroll as the on-deck batter. 1 across, so in the inning here for the Cardinals in this doubleheader. The pitch, that's going to be fouled away. It's 1-2. It's time the boys played 3 weeks ago, that doubleheader. It's a win just like this. Maybe not quite as strong. Very similar though. Tough for the outfielders and the high infield fly pop-ups. But both teams have to deal with it. There's a pitch, swung on and missed. Got her fishing. And a strikeout, so 2 strikeouts in the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Come back with more after this break.
It's time to get road trip ready with the new Buick from Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. Take advantage of Minnesota Motor discounts, bonus cash, and financing specials now through June 1st. Thinking about trying Buick for the first time? New GM owners can take advantage of conquest savings of $1,750 on the Buick Envision. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota Motor.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Hey, welcome back to De Lagoon Park. Otters trail at 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first inning. So Claire Ginningsman reached on a single and then RBI double by Isley Rippiger. Doing the pitching here for the Willmar Cardinals is number 7, Claire Ginningsman. Right-handed pitcher. And behind the plate is Brindley Carroll. Ginningsman on the mound here will face Haley Price. So it's pitcher against pitcher here. Again, Price, a freshman. Followed by Peyton Wolden. Peyton, a sophomore, and then Addie Wickland. And so we're set to go here. Addie Wickland is a 8th grader, so this is a very, very young Otter team here. Here's the pitch to Hallie Price. Fouled back. Pretty good speed here, though, by Ginningsman. Throws pretty hard, and Hallie fouled that one back, so she'll step back in. Saw some action on the varsity basketball team this year as well. Pitch in the dirt, count goes 1-1. So 1-1 the count. Again, catcher Peyton Wolden is on deck. Doing the catching here for Willmar is Brindley Carroll, wears number 14. So Price will step back in. Ginningsman pitch low, count goes 2-1. So a good eye and a good bit of hitting here by Hallie Price, again, just an 8th grader. Count is 2-1. Otters at bat here. Hallie Price at the plate. Here's the pitch, swung and missed. Count goes even at 2-2. And again, the Cardinals scored 1 in the first inning. Here's a 2-2 count to Hallie Price. That's going to be outside, 3-2. Otters looking to get base runners aboard here. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Hallie Price. That's going to be fouled right into the Otter dugout. Again, a really nice job here by the softball program taking this. We used to call this Field 6, I believe, back in the softball days, and turned into a beautiful, beautiful high school softball field. Scoreboard, dugouts, nice sound system. The pitch is going to be fouled out of play. So a good at bat here for Hallie Price. Yeah, she's making Claire Ginningsman really throw pitches here. Ginningsman right hands, the 3-2 count. That's going to be fouled off to the right side. And Hallie Price is not going down easy. Do not have the pitch count up on the board like you do for baseball. It's a lot different throwing motion in softball. Not as taxing on the arm. Seems like if these high school teams have 2 really solid pitchers and a third that's decent, they can go pretty deep. Ground ball, left side, and Price is going to reach. Infield hit for Price, and the Otters have their first runner aboard. And Peyton Walden will step in, sophomore Peyton Walden. Left-handed batter. Again, Price on first base. First pitch, low, ball one. Good discipline at the plate here for the Otters in the early going here, making Claire Ginningsman really dial in, get in the zone. Here's Ginningsman, right-hand pitcher. That's going to be hit to the left side. Oh, it was touched foul. Otherwise, if it was touched fair and went foul, it would have been a fair ball, but it was touched in foul territory. Third baseman Aubrey Peterson. Willmar leads it 1-0. The count is 1-1. Nobody out. Otters with a runner on first. Pitch in the dirt. Price is going to go, and she's going to be in safely, and the dust flies. So a stolen base for Hallie Price. She's at second base. Walden at the plate, and the count is 2-1. To Peyton Walden, left-handed batter, number 2 batter for the Otters here in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch in for a strike. Count goes 2-2. Again, on deck is Eddie Wickland. The Otters do have a runner on second base. Here comes the Ginningsman pitch. Ground ball left side. Second baseman up with it. Kalbrenner to Hansen. And a 4-3 putout of Peyton Walden. And number 20, Addie Wickland, the 3 batter, will step in. She is an 8th grader. This is a very young lineup here for the Otters. Hallie Price at third base, threatening here with 1 out. Pitch is inside. 1-0. This is going to be a team to be reckoned with here. Very young Otter team. Herman is on deck for the Otters, followed by Ella Lee. Count is 1-0, 1-0 to Wickland. That's going to be fouled back. Count goes even at 1-1. So 1-1 the count here to 8th grader Addie Wickland. Again, the Otters are winless in 17 games this year, but again, graduated 8 seniors last year. Pitch swung on and missed. Count goes 1-2. Again, Wickland, 8th grader here at the plate, again with Hallie Price at third base. It's a pitch that's going to be high and outside. Count goes even at 2-2. Again, our recaps of the inning are brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company. In our post-game show, we'll name our Quality Toyota Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Fly ball, high. Oh, it's going to be an error on the second baseman. So Wickland reaches on an E4. Price will score. So 1 run across. Still 1 on and 1 out. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Gianna Herman. So the Otters with a good start here in the first inning. Herman steps in here, the number 5 hitter for the Otters. Wickland at first base. I want to remind you that Running Stitches is the local choice for embroidery and screen printing in Fergus Falls. Running Stitches Embroidery. Game started at 4 o'clock, doubleheader. Be a short break between the 2 games. Ginningsman with the pitch. That's lined into right field. That's a base hit. Good piece of hitting that time by Herman. Down to second base goes Wickland. Herman to first base. Good job by Herman lining it into right field. And Ella Lee will step in. Ella Lee, sophomore. Ella playing left field. So 2 hits in the inning for the Otters, 1 run across. We're tied 1-1, bottom of the first. Pitch in for a strike. Just hit the outside corner. So Herman delivers a solid single to right field. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ginningsman, the pitcher. There's a strike that hit the outside corner. 0-2. Eva Price is on deck. Shortstop, older sister of Haley Price. She's a sophomore. But at the plate right now, Ella Lee. Pitch swung. Nope. She checked on that one, so good discipline. Didn't break the hands there. Count goes to 1-2. So 1-2 the count. Pitch, strike 3. Got her looking there. So first strikeout for Ginningsman. So with 2 down now, and runners at first and second, Eva Price will step in. She's a left-handed batter, sophomore. Zena Zeta is on deck here for the Otters. Pitch outside, ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Here to Eva Price, shortstop for the Otters. Otters threatening runners on first and second. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-1. Again, Hallie Price scored on that error by the second baseman of the Willmar Cardinals. Kind of drifting to her left, and those pop flies are very, very difficult here with this wind. 1-1 pitch. Left side, that's going to be foul. Good bat speed there, though, by Eva Price. Count is 1-2. Again, there are 2 down here. Runners on first and second for Fergus Falls. It's a 1-1 game here at the bottom of the first inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be outside. Count goes 2-2. So Ginningsman has thrown a lot of pitches here in this first inning. Eva Price at the plate. Oh, yeah. Oh, it looked like she may have offered the Otters caught a break there. I think she held back. So Eva Price here now. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners will be taken off here on the pitch. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners will be going. Price, a left-handed batter for the Otters. Sophomore, plays shortstop. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That's low. That's a walk. Bases are loaded. Bases are juiced. Addie Wickland to third. Jenna Herman to second. And Eva Price on the first base. Zena Zita at the plate. First baseman for the Otters. With the bases loaded and 2 down. Pitch, good eye that time by Zeta. Let that one go, 1-0. Zeta Zeta again, the first baseman here. Bases are loaded. Otters have 1 across. They have 2 hits in the inning. Pitch inside, 2-0. 2-0 the count to Zana. Little struggle here for pitcher Claire Ginningsman. Throwing some balls here, trying to find that zone. There's a pitch in for a strike. 2-1. 2 outs if Zana were to reach. Sophie Lee is on deck here for Fergus Falls. Second baseman for the Otters. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Zana. Strike, 2-2 the count. So 2-2 the count. 1-1 is our score. Otters are threatening here with bases loaded here once again. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be high. Count goes full, 3-2. Again, Eva Price drew a walk on a 3-2 count. Runners will be taken off here. 3-2, 2 outs. They'll be moving on the pitch here. Zana Zita at the plate. It's in the dirt. And a walk. Wickland will score. Down to third base goes Herman. Eva Price to second. And Zana Zita to first base. There's 2 outs to bring up senior Sophie Lee, the second baseman. And Ginningsman has had trouble finding the zone here, so Sophie Lee steps in. First pitch swung on and missed. 0-1 to Lee. Sophie Lee wears number 6. She is a senior. Playing second base here for Fergus Falls. So Lee will step in with 2 outs, bases loaded. There's a pop-up in the infield. Wind is blowing around, but the first baseman, Leah Hansen, makes the catch. But the Otters come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error. They leave 3 on base as we head to the top of the second inning. A recap of the inning brought to you by Minnesota Motor Company. 1-1 is our score.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Hey, welcome back to De Lagoon Park. The Otters come up with 2 runs in the inning. They strand 3, but they get a couple of hits in that one and draw a couple of walks that bring runners across. So it's a 2-1 lead for the Otters as we head to the top of the second inning. And we're playing a doubleheader here this afternoon. Hallie Price is on the mound for the Otters. Again, Peyton Wolden doing the catching. And up now here is the catcher for the Cardinals, number 2, Brinley Carroll. So Brinley Carroll steps in. Again, hats off to our engineers, Derek Sidian and Dave Bishop, doing a whale of a job here. We're going to have to send the equipment through the car wash, Derek, after this game. All right, here we go. Here's Hallie Price, the pitcher. Good pitch, fouled off, and Hallie's been working ahead here on the batter, so good to see that. Okay, the batter is the catcher, Carol Brindley, her first at-bat. Hallie faced 4 batters in the first inning. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Yeah, it's low in the dirt. Count goes to 1-1. So 1-1 the count. Man, you see the air has black look to it, kind of a darker look because of all the topsoil blowing around, and then you throw a little bit of limestone in there. There's a pitch high, 2-1. So 2-1 the count. Aubrey Peterson on his deck, followed by Gracie Kalkbrenner. Otter boys will be going at 5 o'clock. They'll play Ada Borup today, an add-on game, a different team we hardly ever play. Talking to head coach Shane Tilke. Pitch in for a strike. About that is on the Coaches Association site. You can put up a need for games, and he said within the next morning he had an answer. Ada Borup wants to come down here to Fergus Falls, and early on with cancellations and the schedule getting kind of plugged, it's sometimes hard to find games this late in the season. There's a fly ball to left field, and making the place the play of the center fielder Addie Wicklund. And so Hallie Price retires the first batter. We got one out. And Peterson will step in. Aubrey Peterson, the third baseman here for the Willmar Cardinals. Wears number 12, right-handed batter. Here comes a pitch from Hallie Price. High ball 1-0. On deck here for the Cardinals is the second baseman, Grace Kalkbrenner. Here comes the pitch in the dirt. That's the ball. Count goes to 2-0. So Hallie's done a good job here working ahead of the batters. But it's 2-0 right now. So 2-0 the count to Aubrey Peterson. Pitch, ground ball, left side, diving play, but it's going to be an infield hit. Good play by Eva Price. Dove, but no chance at getting Aubrey Nelson, so an infield hit. And the Cardinals have a runner aboard.
Second baseman number 5, Grace Kalkbrenner.
Grace Kalkbrenner will step in. Kalkbrenner, the second baseman here for the Willmar Cardinals. Kalkbrenner will be followed by Parker Rux. First pitch, it's going to be in the dirt. 1-0. We'll see if Aubrey Peterson is going to be taken off here. We shall see. 1-0 the count. Here's Hallie Price's pitch. Wines delivers. Ground ball. It did hit the right leg of Hallie Price, so it's a single up the gut. So back-to-back hits here for Willmar. Nobody out, probably 2 on, and Parker Rux, the right fielder, will step in. So Rux will step in here. 2-1, Otters with the lead here. I should have wore safety glasses today. I was just getting my eyes caked with limestone. There's a pitch in for a strike. Good start here against Rux. And Rux is the right fielder. 2 on though, on runners on first and second for the Cardinals. Hallie Price on the mound, Peyton doing the catching. Pitch she delivered in a strike as she missed the bunt there. 0-2. So third baseman Gianna Herman was ready for that bunt, playing in a little bit inside the baseline. So 0-2 the count now. Strikeout would be good here against Parker Rux. Here's the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, and a wild pitch. It's going to get by Peyton Wolden. Runners will advance. Aubrey Nelson to third, Gracie Kalkbrenner to second. And Rux will step back in here. Now the count 1-2, 1 out. That pop fly by Brindley Carroll, the catcher, leadoff hitter. But Cardinals threatening here. Runners on second and third with one out. Pitch lined into left field. That's a base hit. That'll score one. And taking second base is Ruck, so an RBI. So a run comes across to third base. Goes Grace Kalkbrenner. Ruck's to first. And an RBI. And that will bring up the designated player, Maya Cameron. Cameron steps in. Pitch in for a strike. So we're tied 2-2 now here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard in the top half of the second inning. Maya Cameron at the plate, her first at bat. That's going to be high for a ball. 1-1. So 1-1 to Maya Cameron. Flags blowing nicely, standing straight, and offered for the bunt. It was high, and she fouled it off. So a strike count is 1-2. Hallie Price had Rucks 0-2, and Rucks delivered a RBI single. So let's see if Hallie can take care of business against designated player Maya Cameron. 2-2 is our score. Top of the second inning. Pitch in for a strike. Got her looking. 2 down here now for the Otters. So 2 down here for Fergus Falls. Third strikeout for Price. And Nora Nesges, the Nesges will step in. She is the leadoff hitter. Struck out looking in the first inning. 2 down here now for the Otters. First pitch lined into right field. That'll score 2. The ball's coming in. It's going to be a play at the plate. They're going to have somebody in a rundown. Throw to Parker Rucks. She gets back. So Rucks returns to third base. But an RBI single for Nora Nesges. And she goes to second base on the throw. 3-2 now. Gittingsman steps in. Claire Gittingsman singled and scored a run in the first inning. Pitch in for a strike. 0-1. 2 down here for the Otters. So the 2 hits taking place here took place with 2 outs. See if the Otters can close out this inning here. Tight one here. 3-2. We're in the top of the second inning. Here's a pitch. It's going to be high and outside. 1-1. So 1-1 the count here. Pitcher Claire Gittingsman at the plate. Isley Rippinger, who doubled an RBI to run her into the first inning, is up next. Count is 1-1. Pitch going to be fouled back. 1-2. So 1-2 is the count. And we got a ball out on the field, so it'll be a dead ball here. I think some of the ump threw it out to the pitcher, and then the ball came in from the catcher, Walden. Balls flying everywhere here. All right, no harm, no foul. Here we go. Claire Gittingsman steps in. 1-2 the count. 2 down here for Fergus Falls on the Park Region scoreboard. Comes the 2-2 pitch. Low. 2-2. Count is even. That was a good pitch, though, by Hallie. See if she can get Gittingsman to kind of go after that low pitch. Good pitchers will throw, when they're ahead in the count, will throw a ball close to the zone, but not right in there. Pitch foul back. Count remains 2-2. 2-2 the count. There's 2 outs. 3-2 is our score here. Otters got 2 in the bottom of the first. Willmar got 1 in the top of the first, added 2 here in the top of the second inning. Comes the pitch. Got her looking. Struck her out. That'll do it, though. That's the end of the inning. Fourth strikeout for Price. But they do get 2 runs on 3 hits, and there's no errors, and they leave 2 on base. Our inning recap brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company. Come back with the bottom of the 2nd inning after this break.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Hey, welcome back to Day Lagoon Park. Otters will begin the inning here with Bristol Grabowska. She is a designated player. She's an 8th grader as well, Bristol Grabowska. A lot of youth on this team, so Grabowska steps in here. And it'll be the leadoff hitter, Hallie Price, after that. Here comes the pitch to Grabowska, daughter of head football coach Chris Grabowska. After Hallie Price, will be Peyton Wolden and Addie Wicklund. First pitch is the ball, 1-0. Gettingsman dials in, right-hand delivery. Swung on and missed, 1-1 the count. And the count is 1-1. And a dusty Tuesday afternoon. The temps have warmed up, though. Glad about that. Comes the 1-1 pitch to Grabowska. Foul down the right field line. 1-2. Grabowska will step back in. 1-2 the count. Again, she's an 8th grader. Some warm-up swings. Again, we're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 1-2 count to Bristol. Grabowska. Gettingsman winds, delivers. That's going to be fouled off. Good job by Grabowska. Love that, taking those warm-up swings. Steps into the box. Good intensity at the plate. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Bristol Grabowska. Had the rise ball there, struck her out. But a good at-bat, though, for Grabowska. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Hallie Price. Singled in the first and scored a run. So Price will step in here, her 2nd at-bat. Bottom of the 2nd inning, 3-2. Otters with the lead here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Pitch fall back. Peyton Wolden is on deck, followed by Addie Wicklund and Gianna Herman. Oh, 0-1 the count. Gettingsman, right hands in. Pitch is outside. Count goes to 1-1. Again, the Otter boys will get started in their baseball game at 5 o'clock, about 8 minutes from now, on American Legion Field. 1 out, 1-1 the count. Here to Hallie Price. Pitch swung on and missed. 1-2. So 1-2 the count here to Hallie Price. 8th grader doing the pitching here this afternoon. Oh, they're going to call it strike. She might have thought it was high and outside, but got her looking. So the third strikeout for Ginningsman. And Peyton Wolden, the Otter catcher, will step in. Peyton grounded out to second base in her first at bat. 2 down here now for the Otters. Wolden, left-handed batter, will step in. Kari Krine coaching first base, and Devaney Smith, head coach, down at third base. First pitch swung and missed, 0-1. Peyton, a sophomore. So 0-1 the count. Ginningsman gets her sign, rocks and fires. Foul ball. Foul at home plate, 0-2. 0-2 the count to Peyton Wolden. Otters trail 3-2 here. Again, we are in the bottom of the second inning. Barring a 10-run rule, we'll play 7 innings each game here. 0-2 the count here to Peyton Wolden, left-handed batter for the Otters. Pitch. And it's kind of spins fall. She got rid of that one, put it down the left field line. So Wolden will step in here once again. 2 down here for the Cardinals. A couple of strikeouts in the inning here for Ginningsman. Peyton Wolden at the plate for the Otters. Pitch swung and missed. Ball's in the dirt though. Catcher Carroll's going to throw it on to first. So 3 strikeouts in the inning, and the Otters go down 1-2-3. Our inning recap brought to you by Minnesota Motor Company. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're going to head now to the top of the 3rd inning. We'll come back with more after this break.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Then we're back here at De Lagoon Park as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. The Otters scored 2 in the first. Willmar answered with 1 in the first and 2 in the second. Lead it by a score of 3-2 on the Park Region scoreboard. And leading off the inning here is, let's see, the center fielder. That is Isley Ripperger. So she'll lead it off here. Ripperger wears number 1. So Ripperger steps in. Getting a right-handed bat. She steps quite a ways forward in the batter's box. Kind of interesting to watch batter's box placement, no matter what level it is. First pitch high for a ball, 1-0. Beautiful renovation of the camping area out here at De Lagoon Park. Drove through there the other day, and just nice campsites and just a lot of work done there. There's a line drive into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Wickland gets it in quickly, but a base hit as Ripperger is on with a single. That'll bring up Malia Hansen, the number 4 hitter. She struck out in the first. So the Cardinals have a runner on first base and nobody out. Left-handed batter, Malia Hansen at the plate. Pitch low for a ball, 1-0. So 1-0 the count here to Malia Hansen. Brindley Carroll is on deck. Again, nobody down here. Top of the third inning from D Lagoon Park. Pitch, that's going to be high. And advancing down to second base is Ripperger. 2-0 the count. Central Lakes Conference Softball. Thanks for tuning in on 977. Game also streamed on the Fergus Now app and the KBRF YouTube channel. Pitch from Price. It's going to miss outside. So 3-0 here. 3-0 the count. Leah Hansen, the cleanup hitter on base, or at the bat. At second base is Isley Ripperger. Pitch fouled off, so at 3-0, he's swinging away. Leah Hansen at 3-0. Like that one. She'll step in here, left-handed batter. Pitch from Hallie Price, grounded to Zayna Zita. On to first. Good play by Zayna. And unassisted put out and one down here now for the Otters. As Brindley Carroll, the catcher, is going to step in. She flew out to left field in the first inning. So one out now here for Fergus Falls. Pitch from Price. That's going to be a foul ball. So foul ball. It hit Brindley Carroll's bat. Didn't get her bat down. She was trying to get out of the way of the pitch, and it hit her pink bat there. So 0-1 the count. Third baseman Aubrey Peterson is on deck for the Cardinals. Runner on third base is Ripperger on that unassisted putout by Zayna Zita. She went to third base, so count now 1-1 to the catcher Brindley Carroll. Pitch from Price, hit into left field. That's well hit, tailing. It's going to hit the base of the fence and bounce back out. Going for the triple, and with a stand-up triple is Brindley Carroll. Boy, she laced that one. That was kind of a crosswind too. That ball kind of tailed away. Coming across to score is Ripperger. So an RBI triple for Brindley Carroll. And the third baseman, Aubrey Peterson, will step in. She singled in the second, also scored a run. Runner on third here. 4-2 now. Cardinals swing and a miss that time. Hansen went for that low pitch there. So 4-2 the score here now on our Park Region telephone scoreboard. 0-1 the count to Aubrey Peterson. Cardinal third baseman. There's a swing and a miss as well. 0-2. Otters have one out. Cardinals have one on. Two up next for the Cardinals, Grace Kalkbrenner. Here's a pitch to Peterson. Ground ball to the shortstop Price. On to first, makes the play. 6-3 put out of Aubrey Peterson. Nice play there by shortstop Eva Price. And the second baseman, Grace Kalkbrenner, will come to bat. She singled in the second inning and also scored a run. You know, one runner on third here. Brindley Carroll at third base. Tripled, RBI triple scored Ripperger. Pitch in for a strike. Good pitch that time by Price. Hallie Price, pitcher. Eva Price, the shortstop. Sisters. Comes the 0-1 pitch. We fouled back out of play. So Hallie Price gets ahead in the count here. 0-2. Again with two outs. Cardinals in that second inning scored their 2 runs in that inning with 2 outs. Here's the 0-2 pitch, Kalkbrenner. Lined into left field, on to make the play. Good job by Ella Lee. Line drive to left field. So in the inning, though, there was 1 run for the Cardinals on 1 hit. No errors, and the Cardinals strand 1 after 2.5 innings. Our recap brought to Minnesota Motor Company. We'll come back. The Otters will come to bat. Otters trail it 4-2.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
Welcome back to De Lagoon Park on a windy Tuesday afternoon. Otter girls golf team and boys competing up at Thumper Pond, and wow, is it windy and cold this morning. The air temperature's heated up a little bit, but still a dusty afternoon here. First of 2. So we're set to go here. Number 3 hitter, center fielder Addie Wickland, will step to the plate here for Fergus Falls. Wickland reached on an error in the first inning, also scored a run. On that pop fly that the second baseman struggled with, Hallie Price came in to score. Gettingsman with the pitch. That's going to be lined into right field. That's tailing down the line. Wickland's going to get 2. How about 3? It's going to be a stand-up triple for Addie Wickland. Leadoff hitter is aboard. Good piece of hitting, and you can just see that ball just tailing off down the line. And Gianna Herman, the third baseman, will step in. She singled in the first inning in her first at-bat. So Herman at the plate. Good start. Addie Wickland at third base. Pitch swung and missed. 0-1. That single by Gianna Herman, I think, was a nice line drive to right field. Gianna Herman has a right-handed bat. Comes the 0-1 pitch. High, 1-1. Herman, a sophomore, will step back in here for Fergus Falls. Cardinals lead at 4-2. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Herman at the plate. Already has a single in the game. Pitch in for a strike, 1-2. Good start to this inning. Again with that Wickland triple down the right field line. Nobody out. Again, Wickland on third base. Herman at the plate here for Fergus Falls. Pitch swung and missed. Struck her out. Good cut at that one, though, but a strikeout. 5th of the game for Gettingsman. And Ella Lee, who had a put out last inning, steps in. Struck out looking in the first inning. Left-handed batter, Ella Lee, sophomore. Oh, she was going to offer the bunt. They were yelling, but nothing on there for the Otters. First pitch was a ball, so 1-0. Eva Price, the shortstop for the Otters, on deck. Count is 1-0 to left fielder Ella Lee. There's a pitch, squares, pulls back though. Ball, 2-0. So third baseman Aubrey Peterson playing in now. Doesn't play with a face mask on. Some do. The third baseman and pitcher in particular. The second baseman for Cardinals also has a face mask on, protective face mask. Here's a pitch to Lee. Swung on and missed. 1-2. 1-2 the count to Ella Lee. Eva Price on deck. There's one out here for the Otters. Addie Wickland at third base following that triple. Standing 60 feet from home plate. Comes the 1-2 pitch from Gettingsman. Outside for a ball. Good discipline. It was close. But from our vantage point, he got a great spot here behind home plate. Just missed the outside corner. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Ella Lee. Pitch, base hit up the middle. That'll score a run. Good piece of hitting by Lee. RBI single. That'll score Addie Wickland. The Otters have a couple hits in the inning and a run across. 4-3. Willmar with the lead. And Ella Lee with an RBI single down the first base. And Ava Price in for the Otters. So Price at the plate. Pitches low for a ball, 1-0. Just so important to get that leadoff batter on base, and that's exactly what the Otters did. That triple by Wickland. Count is 1-0 here now to Price. Ava Price. Pitch, strike, runners going. No play, safe, good play there. Good hustle by Lee, so Lee with a stolen base. And Price at the plate here now with a 1-1 count. That was low in the dirt. There's one out. Otters threatening again with a runner in scoring position on second base. Pitch swung on and missed. 1-2. Otters have one runner across in the inning. Addie Wickland scored. She led off with a triple and then an RBI single by Ella Lee. One out here for the Otters. Ava Price at the plate for Fergus Falls. Here's the pitch. In for a strike. Got her looking. I think that hit the outside corner. Zena Zita will step up for the Otters here. Walked in the first inning. Otters did score a run on that walk. Here's the pitch to Zita, swung and missed, 0-1. Sophie Lee is on deck if Zita were to reach. (4-3) again, Otters trail by one. They're getting one back here. There's two outs, still have a runner on second base. Ella Lee is there. Pitch swung and missed, 0-2. Claire Gettingsman now with, she has 5 strikeouts right now, but it's an 0-2 count. Here to Zena Zita. Claire Gettingsman, right-hand pitcher. Smashed over the center fielder's head. It's going to go to the wall. That'll score a run. A stand-up double for Zena Zita. How about that? And it's tied 4-4. Ripped it over the center fielder, Isley Ripperger's head. Went to the fence. And we're tied 4 apiece here in the bottom of the third inning. And Sophie Lee steps in for the Otters. She struck out in the first inning. Lee, the second baseman. Pitch swung and missed. 0-2. And Sophie Senior. They had senior night, awards night last night. And Derek Abrams and did a great job with that. Amber Hovland did a super job also organizing all of the awards and different things too, and really fun to see. Really impressed with the A honor roll and the 3.9 students. There was 83 on the A honor roll and a number 19. I think they were 3.9 or above. Pitch. Oh, that looked like it was high, but a strikeout. So a strikeout. But in the inning, the Otters get 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave 1 on base. So we do head now to the top of the 4th inning. Our recap of the 3rd inning brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company. Otters lead it by we're tied, 4-4.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Between muddy roads and dusty drives, your car takes a beating. Keep it shining with an unlimited car wash membership at Splash Express. Upgrade to the Platinum for a rust inhibitor, hot wax, and ceramic coating in one bundle. Stop by Splash Express next to Premier Meats in Fergus Falls.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Welcome back. 4-4 is our score here from De Lagoon Park on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. It'll be Parker Rux, Maya Cameron, and Nora Nesgus up for Willmar. 4-4 is our score. It's been a good one here. Otters looking for their first win of the season. Cardinals are 5-10 on the year. Parker Rux singled in the 2nd inning, was stranded on base. Maya Cameron on deck for Willmar, and Hallie Price delivers. Ground ball, left side. Hallie Price up with it. It was kind of a high chopper there as Herman unable to play it, and then Eva Price picked it up, but that time Rux reaches on an infield single, got down the line pretty well. And Maya Cameron, the designated player, steps in. She struck out in the 2nd inning. On deck is the shortstop, Nora Nesgus. 1 on here now for the Cardinals. There's a wild pitch. And hustling down to second base is Parker Rux. 4-4 is our score here. We're in the top of the 4th inning. On a windy May 12th afternoon. Maya Cameron again at the plate. Parker Rux down to second. Lays down a bunt, but that's going to be fouled back. 0-1. So Price on the mound. Hallie Price winds, delivers. Pitch in for a strike. 0-2, so, or 1-2, pardon me. So Hallie ahead in the count here. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. It's going to be high for a ball, 2-2. And again, Willmar with the runner in scoring position. Parker Rux standing down at second base. Get Cameron at the plate. Hallie Price on the mound. Pitch swung on and missed. Goes to the fence, though. So Cameron, there was a strikeout, but the ball got away from Peyton Wolden. So Maya Cameron goes to first base, and to third base goes Parker Rux. No outs, nobody out. Nora Nesgus steps in. Struck out. There's a squares the bunt. That's going to be a wild pitch. It's going to go to the dugout. And on to third. Oh. So the runner on the wild pitch scores. That'll be on an error. That was Parker Rux. And then trying to take third base was Maya Cameron. She was thrown out at third base. So with one out now, here's Nora Nesges at the plate. Pitch inside, 1-0. Again, we're in the top of the fourth inning, and one run across in the inning for the Willmar Cardinals. One out here for the Otters. Pitch swung and missed. 1-1. Claire Ginningsman, the pitcher, is on deck here for Willmar. Nobody on, pardon me. 2-1 the count. And Hallie Price delivery is outside. 2-1, or 3-1, pardon me. Otters trail 5-4 here now. We're in the top of the fourth inning in game one. Nobody on, one out here, 3-1 pitch. Gonna be inside. And Nora Nesges draws a walk. She goes down to first base. And the pitcher, Claire Ginningsman, steps in. Singled and scored a run in the first. Struck out in the second inning. Ginningsman steps in here now again. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Has 1 run scored. Isley Rippiger is on deck. There's a pitch in the dirt, and advancing to second base is Nora Nesges. Here's the pitch to the pitcher, Ginningsman. That goes back to the fence. Back to third base. Now to third base goes Nesges. Count goes to 2-0. So 2-0 the count here to the pitcher, Claire Ginningsman. And the wind kind of dies down for a bit, and then it just kicks up again. I know what it's now like to be in a sandblasting booth without any protective eyewear. Here's the pitch, but it's ball 3, 3-0. The count here now. Otters trail 5-4 here now. One across in the inning here for the Cardinals. There's the pitch in the dirt. That's a walk. So a pair of walks here. And Ginningsman goes down to first base. And stepping in, Rippiger, the center fielder. So Rippiger steps in. And she's going to be followed here by Malia Hansen, the first baseman. Squares the bunt. It's in the dirt. Down to second base with a stolen base goes Ginningsman. Count is 1-0 to Rippiger. Runners on second and third for Willmar. Good stop. Oh, initially, wild pitch. And scoring from third base is Nesges. And so it's 6-4 now in favor of Willmar here on the Park Region scoreboard. Cardinals runner on third base. Here's a pitch in for a strike, and that was good. Hallie needed that one just to kind of get things rolling here again. 2-1 to Rippiger. There's one out here for Fergus Falls. Runner on third base. Ground ball, left side. Up with it, throwing the dirt, but it's scooped nicely by Zena Zita. Good scoop. And the throw from Herman was in the dirt. And Zena Zita with a nice scoop at first base. Rippiger is retired. It's a 5-3 put out. 2 down here for the Otters. But on the ground ball, a runner comes across. And Hansen, the first baseman, will step in. Struck out in the first, grounded out to Zayna Zita in the third inning. Brindley Carroll is on deck, catcher for the Cardinals, if Malia Hansen were to reach. Count is 1-0 here to Malia Hansen. Pitch swung on and missed. 1-1. So 1 hit in the inning, but 3 runs. A couple of walks yielded here by Hallie Price. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Be outside 2-1. The count here to the first baseman, Malia Hansen, for the Cardinals, who lead it now 7-4. Pitch going to be high, 3-1. 7-4 is our score. So 3 in the inning here for the Cardinals. We're tied 4-4 going into the top of the 4th. This pitch from Hallie Price is going to be outside. And she walks Hansen. So runners, there's just one runner on at first base is Malia Hansen, and Brindley Carroll will step in. Catcher here for the Cardinals. On deck, the third baseman, Aubrey Peterson. Checking in here is Brindley Carroll, the catcher. Fly ball left field, slicing. It's going to hit the fence. Hits the base of the fence. They'll get it in. It's going to score a run, though. An RBI stand-up double. Scoring Claire Ginningsman. Oh, pardon me. Let's see. She's already came across. That scored. Malia Hansen comes across to score. And a line drive, a double, that time for Brindley Carroll. First pitch is in for a strike. So 0-1 the count. But let's see, 2 hits in the inning and 4 runs across. 8-4 is the score here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard on a windy, sand-blowing, sandblast-like atmosphere here at D Lagoon Park. Ground ball to the shortstop. Ava Price up with it on to first. And that retires Aubrey Peterson. 6-3 putout. 4 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base for the Cardinals. We head now to the bottom of the 4th, our Minnesota Motor recap. Otters trail 8-4.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
We're back. 8-4 is the score here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. I'll tell you about Running Stitches Embroidery, your local source for embroidery, best in personal service around. Running Stitches Embroidery, Fergus Falls. We appreciate all of our sponsors. Again, in our post-game show, we'll name our quality player of the game. And designated player Bristol Grabowski will step in for the Otters. Struck out in the second inning. Again, an 8th grader as well here for Fergus Falls. Pitch outside, 1-0. Otters need base runners here. Trail 8-4 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Four runs in the top of the 4th inning for the Cardinals. Otters at bat. Fouled back. Count goes to 1-1. So Claire Gettingsman has gone the whole way for the Cardinals. Same thing with Hallie Price for the Otters. So Bristol Grabowski at the plate. Count is 1-1. Leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Otters. Pitch swung and missed. Count goes 1-2. On deck for the Otters will be pitcher, 8th grader Hallie Price. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's a good eye there by Grabowski, laying off that high one. Count goes 2-2. So 2-2 the count to 8th grader Bristol Grabowski. Otters trail 8-4 here on the Park Region scoreboard. Chopper right side, and an infield single for Crystal Grabowski. Otters need runners. That's what Bristol did. Reaches first base. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, the pitcher, Hallie Price. Singled and scored a run in the first, struck out in the second. But the Otters have their leadoff hitter, Bristol Grabowski, on first base. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to be through for a hit. Throw coming towards third, and Grabowski is going to make it. And so a single for Hallie Price. And down to third base goes Bristol Grabowski. And Peyton Wolden, the catcher for the Otters, will step in. And we got a visit here from head coach Brianna Tupa. She's going to talk things over here with her team here. Comes to the mound just to talk to her girls, make sure they know what they're doing with the softball, if it's hit to them or whatnot. Otters trail 8-4 though, but leadoff hitter aboard, and then a single by Hallie Price. Tupa, the head coach, heads back to the dugout, and Peyton Wolden, the catcher for the Otters. Sophomore catcher will step in. Addie Wickland is on deck. Otters need a lot of base runners. They got runners on second and third now, with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch swung or missed. 0-1. Addie Wickland on deck, followed by Gianna Herman and Ella Lee. Otters threatening though. Runners on second and third. Getting some of the pitch outside. Count goes even at 1-1. 200 feet, the fence all the way around here. Home of Otters softball. They dedicated this field just to softball. Pitch. Line down the left field line, just foul. That would have been extra bases for Wolden. Count goes to 1-2. Third baseman Aubrey Peterson in tight down the left field line. Comes the 1-2 pitch to catcher Wolden. And a good block that time by Carroll, the catcher for the Cardinals. Kind of went to her left and blocked that ball. It's a run-saving block. Count though is 2-2. Wolden at the plate. Runners at second and third for Fergus Falls. Pitch grounded right side. That'll score a run, and Wolden's going to reach as well. An error on the second baseman. And Grabowski scores. First run of the inning. Wolden reaches on an E4. Hallie Price goes to third base. Otters got something cooking here. Addie Wicklund tripled her last time up. She scored a couple runs in the game. First pitch fouled off. So 8-5 is our score here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. All right, here we go. There's the pitch. Line drive up the middle. That's going to score a pair. It's going to be 8-7. Stand-up double for Wicklund. Price comes across the score. Walden scores, and it's 8-7. 2 across, and a 2 RBI double. That time for Addie Wicklund. So Hallie Price scores, Peyton Walden scores, and it's 8-7 here on the Park Region scoreboard. 3 hits in the inning for the Otters. And stepping in is Jenna Herman, the cleanup hitter, with Wicklund at second base. Addie Wicklund singled it right up to gut. She is an 8th grader. Wow. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside to Herman. 2-0. Talked about getting base runners. That's exactly what the Otters are doing here. Herman at the plate. Ella Lee is on deck. Herman singled in the first, struck out in the third. Pitch low. Count goes to 3-0. Hitters count here, or take. Need runners. Giddings been struggling a bit here. Otters getting on there with 1, 2, 3 hits in the inning and 3 runs across. Pitch high, ball 4. Good job that time by nobody out still in this inning. Big inning here for the Otters. And so Herman goes down to first. And again, Addie Wicklund on second base, and Ella Lee stole the base, has an RBI single in the third, and struck out in the first inning. Pitch outside. 1-0. First of 2 games here from D Lagoon Park. Otters trail now 8-7. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. With a great opportunity here to tie the game or take the lead. Here's the pitch. Swung and missed. Count goes 1-1. They have a Price on deck here for the Otters. So Eva Price on deck here, and then followed by Zena Zita. Pitch foul back into the screen. 1-2. Still nobody out though. Here for the Otters. Lee at the plate, left-handed batter. RBI single in the third inning. Nobody out here. Otters with a golden opportunity to tie this game up or take the lead. Here's a pitch by Kinningsman. Outside. 2-2. Count is even at 2-2. Otters have shown pretty good discipline at the plate here. Herman just walked here recently. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Strike. Struck her out. Offered. So Lee goes down swinging, and there's 1 out for the Otters. And Eva Price will step in here for Fergus Falls. Be followed by Zena Zita. So Price steps in. Reached in the first inning. Struck out in the third. Again, we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Otters with runners on first and second. Trail at 8-7. Addie Wicklund on second base. Herman at first base. And Wicklund had that 2-run double 2-run RBI double. There's a pitch in for a strike. Count goes 1-1 to sophomore Eva Price, the shortstop here for Fergus Falls. And 1 down for Fergus Falls, but runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. It's going to be high for a ball. 2-1. Kenning's been struggling a bit in this inning, but the Otters doing a good job at the plate. Good discipline, some timely hitting with runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 2-2. 2-2 to Eva Price. Price steps in here again. The Otters with Wicklund at second, Herman at first. Here's the pitch. Oh, fouled it down the left field line. So foul ball. Count remains 2-2. Price, a left-handed batter. Here for the Otters. Will step in here once again. Zayna Zita's on deck. Sophie Lee will follow, barring a double play. Pitch from Ginningsman. That's going to be fouled back. Good battle at the plate taking place here. So 2-2 the count. So 2-2 the count here to Eva Price, sophomore shortstop for the Otters. 8-7, Willmar with the lead. Pitch outside, count goes full. So 3-2 to Eva Price. Otters with 1 out, runners on first and second. They had some timely hits in this one, no doubt about that. Comes the pitch, low for a ball. Good discipline that time by Price, and the bases are loaded for Zayna Zita. Wicklund to third base, Herman to second. Down to first goes Eva Price. And Zayna Zita steps in. She had an RBI double in the third inning. Right-handed batter with 1 out. There's a pitch in for a strike. Otters trail by 1, 8-7 with 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, game 1 here of a doubleheader. There's the 0-1 pitch. In for a strike. Count goes 0-2. Zayna steps back in here. 0-2 pitch. Bases are loaded here for Fergus Falls. Pitcher Ginning's been taking her time out there. Pitch swung on and missed. As Zita goes down swinging, there's 2 outs. And Sophie Lee will step in. Struck out in the first, struck out in the third. Otters with bases loaded here. So Sophie will step in here with runners on first, second, and third here, and the Otters trailing 8-7. They've scored 3 in the inning, though. Pitch inside, ball 1, 1-0. 1-0 to senior Sophie Lee, second baseman here for Fergus Falls. Comes the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be high. 2-0. Bristol Grabowski is on deck here for Fergus Falls. If Lee were to reach, again, Otters now with bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ginningsman winds, delivers. Pitch in for a strike. 2-1. Lee steps in here, 2-1 count. Otters have had some timely hitting the last couple innings here and looking for another big at-bat here from Sophie Lee. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop. Shortstop on to first. A good play that time by Nora Negus. On to Malia Hansen. Retires the Otters. That's a 6-3 putout. But not before the Otters do some damage. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and the Otters leave 3 on base. Our recap inning brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company. We'll come back with top of the 5th inning after this break.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you
where to eat.
Welcome back to De Lagoon Park. The Otters get 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And trail now by a score of 8-7 as we head to the top of the 5th. Good inning for Fergus Falls, battling in this one. And the Otters looking for their first win of the year here. And Grace Kalkbrenner will step in for the Otters. Singled and scored a run in the 2nd inning. Popped out to left field in the 3rd inning. So Kalkbrenner steps in here for Fergus Falls. This pitch in for a strike. Good start here for Hallie Price. And boy, also you go from being down 8-4 to 8-7, a little more jump in your step here, and good start here for Hallie. Second pitch, high for a ball, 1-1. This will be Grace Kalkbrenner, Parker Rux, and Maya Cameron for Willmar here in the top of the 5th inning of game 1. Pitch, that's going to be a ball high and goes to the fence. Count is 2-1 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. So 2-1 the count here to Grace Kalkbrenner, second baseman here for Willmar. Pitch fouled back to the screen. 1-2. Pardon me, 2-2. So Kalkbrenner steps in again here. 8-7. Cardinals with the lead, top of the 5th inning. Otter Girls Softball here on Channel 977, also streamed on the Fergus Now app and the KBRF YouTube channel. Just foul ball back to the screen. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the second baseman, Grace Kalkbrenner. Parker Rux is on deck, who's got a pair of singles in the game. Here's Kalkbrenner at the plate. Haley Price winds. Pitch in the dirt. Count goes full to 3-2. So 3-2 here to Grace Kalkbrenner. And the wind has not died down much. Maybe a little bit, but then it'll just kick back up again. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Lined into center field. Deep, deep. One hopper to the fence. Otters will get it in. And a good piece of hitting there for Kalkbrenner with a stand-up double. And Parker Rux, who has a pair of hits in the game, also scored a run in the 4th inning, steps in here for Willmar. Designated player Maya Cameron is on deck. Nobody out here. Cardinals get their first runner aboard. Squares, pulls back. Strike. 0-1. 0-1 to Parker Rux. She'll step back in. Here's Hallie Price's pitch. Swung and missed, fouled back. 0-2. So good job here by Hallie getting ahead in the count. 0-2, nobody out. One on second base. That's Grace Kalkbrenner for Willmar. Again, first of 2 games here from De Lagoon Park. Here's the pitch inside. 1-2. So 1-2 the count here to Parker Rux. Right fielder here for the Willmar Cardinals. Comes a pitch from Hallie Price. Ground ball, shortstop. Price took a kind of a tough hop. And that'll be an error on Price. And on first base now is Parker Rux. Grace Kalkbrenner at second base. Designated player Maya Cameron steps in. 2 on, nobody out here for Willmar in the top of the 5th inning. There's the pitch. It's be fouled, and that ball is spinning, hit the end of the bat. So, again, Hallie Price gets ahead in the count. Again, 8-7, Willmar with the lead here, top of the 5th inning. Nobody out, 2 runners on here for the Cardinals. Here's a pitch from Hallie Price. In for a strike. So 0-2 the count to the designated player, Maya Cameron. Again, Running Stitches Embroidery is your local source for embroidery and screen printing. Fergus Falls Running Stitches Embroidery. Ground ball to Price. On to first. 6-3 put out. So the Otters get it out. As Cameron is retired, 6-3, but the runners advance, so Rux is at second, Grace Kalkbrenner at third base. And the official umps are talking about something right now, and they were just seeing if there was any contact with the ball with the runner going to third. There was none whatsoever. Otherwise, Kalkbrenner would have been out if she got hit by that ground ball. Price comes up with a good play. That's Eva Price. Nesges steps up, singled in the second, walked and scored a run in the third. There's a little pop fly, and the pitcher, Hallie Price, gets underneath it. 2 down here now. So good job that time by Hallie Price with a pitch, then makes the put out. And Ginnigsman will step in. Claire Ginnigsman stole the base in the game, has a single and a walk, has scored a pair of runs. Pitch from Hallie Price. Strike. Good start for Hallie. Price has 4 strikeouts thus far in the ballgame. Those were in the first 2 innings. The 0-1 pitch, though, here to Ginnigsman to third base. Up with it. On to first. Good play there by the Otter third baseman, Herman. Good inning, though, for the Otters as Ginnigsman is retired. 5-3. And so in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on base for the Cardinals. Our half-inning recap brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company. We'll come back with the bottom of the 5th after this break.
It's time to get road trip ready with the new Buick from Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. Take advantage of Minnesota Motor discounts, bonus cash, and financing specials now through June 1st. Thinking about trying Buick for the first time? New GM owners can take advantage of conquest savings of $1,750 on the Buick Envision. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
And we're back here at De Lagoon Park. It's been a pretty well played softball game here this afternoon. And Briscoe Grabowski, a designated player for the Otters, will step in here. Singled her last time up, an infield single. Struck out in the second inning and did score a run in the fourth inning. Otters right back at it. First pitch high for a ball, 1-0. Otters with 2 in the first. 2 in the fourth. And 3 in the fourth inning here, so 7 runs in total. Pitch swung on and missed. Count goes even at 1-1. So 8th grader Briscoe Grabowska, daughter of head high school football coach Chris Grabowska. What a great job he's done these first couple of years here. 2-1, or 1-2, they call that a strike. Well, that would be a little high, maybe. So 1-2. So 1-2 the count. Here to Bristol Grabowska. Kenningsman with a pitch. Foul out of play. It's foul out of play. She's going to battle. Steps in there again. On deck is going to be the pitcher, Hallie Price. This is a young Otter team here. Again, graduating 8 seniors last year. And there's a ground ball to the pitcher and a 1-3 putout. First one down here now. 1-3 putout for the Cardinals. And Hallie Price will step in. Singled and scored a run in the first. Struck out in the second inning. Singled and scored a run in the fourth inning. Peyton Wolden is on deck. 1 out here for the Otters. Here's Hallie Price at the plate here. Again, we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-7 is our score. Price, kind of a spinner towards short. That was it. Safe there. Infield hit for Price. Off the end of the bat, it spun. And the shortstop, Nesgus, tried to get it quickly over to Malia Hansen, and Hansen's foot was pulled too, but call that an infield hit. And Peyton Wolden will step in. Grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning, struck out in the second, and reached on an error in the fourth inning. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. So 1-0 the count here to sophomore Peyton Wolden. (8-7) Otters trail by 1. They have a runner aboard. Pitch is a ball, low, 2-0. Otter JV trailing Ada Borbs JV by a score of 5-0. And we'll get an update here on the boys game here in just a second on the varsity game. 2-0 the count, 1 out. Stepping in, Peyton Wolden, 2-0 the count. Otters with Hallie Price on first base, swing and a miss, 2-1. So 2-1 to Peyton Wolden here. Otters have a runner on though, and their leadoff batter, Hallie Price. 8-7. Cardinals with the lead here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch fall back into the screen. 2-2. Peyton right on that one. Addie Wicklund is on deck. She's had a big afternoon. Triple, scored a run, and a two RBI double in the 4th. Here's the pitch. It's going to be popped back. Catcher after it, but into the screen. Brindley Carroll with a good effort there. So Peyton will step back in here. 2-2. Number 2 hitter, Peyton Wolden. Wolden's going to step in here. The wind is down to about 28 miles an hour now. As soon as I say that, we'll have dust flying here once again. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. So Wolden goes down swinging. 6th strikeout here for the pitcher, Claire Gunningsman. And Addie Wicklund, who is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored, steps in for the Otters. Pitch line to right field. Going to be a tough one. It's going to be in there for a hit. They're going to tie it up here. Hallie Price rounds third base, and Price is in easily at a stand-up double. And the Otters tie it up 8-8 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Addie Wicklund got a pair of doubles and a triple. He's got 3 RBIs. And we are tied 8-8. 2 doubles and a triple for Wicklund. We're tied 8-8 here on the Park Region scoreboard. So Otters with 2 outs have Wicklund at second base, and Herman steps in. Singled in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 4th inning. We're tied 8-8 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Good battle here, D Lagoon Park. Pitch inside. 2-0. So 2-0 the count. Otter boys are up on Ada Borup 4-3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning over at Legion Field. There's the pitch, low, 2-1 to Herman. If Herman were to reach, Ella Lee would step in. Again, Herman with a single, a strikeout, and a walk. Pitch right down the pipe for a strike. 3-1, pardon me. I'm sure Herman was taken all the way here. She's the 4 hitter for the Otters. Oh, Herman's going to step in here. The 3-1 pitch. That's fouled off to the right side. Ball goes to 3-2. In our post-game show, I'll name our Minnesota Motor, or I mean our Lake Country Graphics supplies the T-shirts. Quality, Toyota quality player of the game. 3-2 the count. Runner on second base is Addie Wicklund. 1 run across the inning. We're tied 8-8. Pitch is low. She draws a walk. And Ella Lee will step to the plate here for the Otters. Leah struck out twice and singled and scored a run in the 2nd inning. And on deck will be Eva Price. Lee will step in, left-handed batter here for the Otters. Pitch just painted the outside corner for a strike. Ella Lee, a sophomore. 0-1. 2 down here for the Otters. We're tied 8-8. Bottom of the 5th inning. Otters with runners on 1st and 2nd. Pitch low and outside. 1-1. So 1-1 the count here. Claire Gittingsman has gone the whole way. Same with Hallie Price for the Otters. These two teams duking it out here. De Lagoon were tied 8-8 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch in for a strike. Count goes to 1-2. Gittingsman gets ahead in the count. Ella Lee at the plate. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Line drive, that's gonna be a base hit. It's gonna go to the fence, just about. Otters score 1. Looking for the throw here to come in. And a big hit by Ella Lee. An RBI single, her second RBI. Addie Wicklund comes around from second base to score. And Herman, she gets to second base, so a double. Third base is Herman, and Eva Price is up to bat. So two RBIs for Ella Lee in the game. Otters take the lead 9-8. Let's go. Eva Price at the plate. Runners on second and third. Otters looking for their first win of the season. Here comes the pitch from Gittingsman. Fouled off, left side. Price, the left-handed batter. So the Otters with 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 2 across here in the 5th inning. And now lead it 9-8 here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Comes a 1-1 pitch to Price. Oh, they're going to call a strike on that one. Looked to me a little bit on the outside of the plate there, but 1-2 the count. To Eva Price. Maybe a golden opportunity to tack onto that lead here. Price is sophomore. Pitch fall back into the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes here to Price. Eva Price. Runners on second and third. Gittingsman with the pitch. Outs. Oh, they're going to say it was a strike. Might have been on the outside corner, but that's why I'm behind the mic here. But a good inning for the Otters here. 2 runs on 3 hits. There was no errors for the Willmar Cardinals, and the Otters strand 2 runners, but they do take the lead 9-8. Minnesota Motor gives us a recap of the inning. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Otters lead it 9-8.
It's time to get road trip ready with the new Buick from Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. Take advantage of Minnesota Motor discounts, bonus cash, and financing specials now through June 1st. Thinking about trying Buick for the first time? New GM owners can take advantage of conquest savings of $1,750 on the Buick Envision. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Welcome back here to De Lagoon Park. The Otters take the lead 9-8. And Hallie Price singled. And then Addie Wicklund hit a double. Hallie Price scored. Jenna Herman walked. Ella Lee doubled. Picked up another RBI. So a couple runs across in the inning. As we head here to the top of the 6th inning, top of the 6th inning. Otters lead at 9-8. And number 1, Ripperger Isley Ripperger steps in. She is a center fielder, doubled in the first inning, and grounded out to the Otter third baseman Herman in the fourth inning. First pitch from Hallie Price. Solid line drive. That's going to go to the fence. Stand-up double for number 1. That was Isley Ripperger, the 3-hitter. She laced that one into the gap in left center field. So stand-up 2-bagger. And so Malia Hansen steps in. She is the first baseman, struck out on the first. Grounded out to Zayna Zita in the third inning, and then walked in the fourth inning. So leadoff hitters aboard here for the Willmar Cardinals. First pitch is in for a ball, so 1-0 here to Hansen. Catcher Brinley Carroll, the 5-hitter, is on deck. Number 4 hitter Malia Hansen at the plate. Pitches outside, 2-0. That ball just about got to the outfield, kind of overthrown there. It's picked up by Sophie Lee, the second baseman of the Otters. So Malia Hansen steps in here for Willmar. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Pop fly. Eva Price, the wind kind of blew it back. Yeah, she didn't touch it, so it hit and had so much English on it, spun foul. So that's a strike. So Eva was coming on it, but that wind was blowing it in. So 9-8 now. The Otters lead this one. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Count goes to 2-2. So 2-2 the count here to the first baseman, number 4 hitter, Malia Hansen. So Hansen will step in, left-handed bat. There's a line drive. It's going to get to the outfield. That's going to score a run. Throw was cut off. And back-to-back hits as Hansen picks up the RBI, and scoring from second base is Isley Ripperger. And the number 5 hitter, the catcher, Brinley Carroll, steps in. She has a triple in the third, a double in the fourth. She's got 2 RBIs, and then popped out in the second inning. She's had a good game at the plate. Runner's going. Throw down to second. Not in time. And so a stolen base for Malia Hansen. Brinley Carroll on deck. First pitch was a ball. It's 1-0. Aubrey Nelson, the third baseman, is on deck. There's nobody out. There's a ball hit to left field, laced into left field. And the Cardinals take the lead, and with her second triple of the game, Brinley Carroll hits a triple down the left field line. That's her third RBI. Coming across to score is Hansen. So 3 hits in the inning here for Willmar. First pitch to Aubrey Peterson is in for a strike, 0-1. And here's the ground ball, left side. That's going to score a run. Throw to first, not in time. And so an infield hit that time for Aubrey Peterson. Coming across to score is Brinley Carroll, who just tripled. And the score, just like that, goes to 11 9. So 3 across in the inning here for Willmar, and there's nobody out. Grace Kalkbrenner steps in, pitches inside. 1 runner on here for Willmar. Nobody out though, 2-0 the count to Grace Kalkbrenner. Otters have taken the lead. 9-8, 3 runs here with nobody out. For the Cardinals, there's a pitch high over Peyton Holden's head. And down to second base goes the base runner for the Cardinals. 11-9. There's a pitch in for a strike. 3-1. There's a pinch runner on here for Willmar. Pitch lined into left field. That's a base hit. Oh, and it gets between Lee, goes into the outfield past Lee. And a double for Grace Kalkbrenner. And Melanie Rhoda scores. And so Grace Kalkbrenner with the double. And then some action going on here on the RBI for Kalkbrenner. And she goes to second base. And running for Aubrey Peterson was Rhoda. She scores, so 4 across in the inning here now. Nobody out. Swing and a miss. 1 runner on second base. That's Kalkbrenner. Parker Rux is at the plate. 2 singles, scored a run. Reached on an error. It's now 12-9 Cardinals. Pitch may have hit her. There's no call on that. So count goes to 1-1 to Parker Rux. Maya Cameron, the designated player, is on deck. Pitch is going to be high. 2-1. So 2-1 to Parker Rux. Nobody out. Hallie Price continues on the mound here for the Otters. But 4 across in the inning. The Otters came into this with a 9-8 lead. And Willmar comes back with 4 in the inning with no outs. Pitch low in the dirt. Good dig that time by the catcher, Peyton Wolden. Count goes to 3-1. Runner on second, Grace Kalkbrenner. Comes the pitch. Strike 2, 3-2 the count. Nobody out yet in the inning. The first 4 batters that have batted in the inning have scored. And Grace Kalkbrenner standing on second base. 2, 3. So 5 hits in the inning here for the Willmar Cardinals. Pitch lined into center field. That's going to score a run. Kalkbrenner is going to come across to score. And in with a stand-up double is Parker Rux. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight hits here for Willmar. 5 across in the inning, nobody out. And Maya Cameron, who struck out on the first, reached in the 4th, I believe on a walk, and then grounded out to the shortstop. First pitch is a pass ball. 1-0. So the Otters go from leading 9-8, now trail 13-9. Cameron at the plate. Nobody out here. That pitch is fouled back. Counts 1-1. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. 13-9 in favor of Willmar on the Otters Telecom Park Region telephone scoreboard. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Maya Cameron. That's going to be in the dirt. 2-1. Again, Hallie Price, 8th grader on the mound. Doing a good job here. Fergus Falls trails at 13-9 here on the Park Region scoreboard. Wind's picked up again. Big time. If you're watching on the stream, you can see the dust blowing like crazy. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball. It's right in front of the plate. Walden's going to try to grab it. They have the runner trapped, but nobody's at third base. So an infield single. Rux goes to third. And reaching on kind of a fluky play there. As Peyton Wold tried to pick it up, but couldn't quite get to it. Didn't make a throw. And Nora Nezjes will step in. And first pitch is fouled away by Nora Nezjes. Nobody out here. 0-1 the count. Königsman is on deck, followed by Ripperger. And the runner's going. They'll concede the base. Going down to second base is Maya Cameron, so runners at second.